because I'm emotionally connected to what I'm building. I'm emotionally attached to this. And a lot of people say don't take it personal, it's just business. I take this personal because I put everything on the line for this. There's people that's counting on me to make the right decisions, that's counting on me to perform when things are uncomfortable and to figure things out. This is not us, just a group of friends, working in the basement and, my parents are paying the rent. No, this is real life.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Awesome Inc.'s podcast, where we highlight people pursuing their definition of, you guessed it, awesome. So buckle up and get ready for some more success story adventures and failures from Kentucky's tech and entrepreneur community. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Awesome Inc. podcast. I am literally pumped because I get to sit down with my boy, Josh Reed, who was the winner of the Fibercross finals for 2021. This guy's a stud. He's like Clark Kent, day, suave, nice entrepreneur, but really he's wearing a big old superhero costume underneath that shirt. So, man, yeah, he's great. He's laughing right now. He's a blessing. All right. Anyways, so a couple things before we get this episode launched off. Big thank you to the Fibercross presenting sponsor, which was Airing Ventures for the Fibercross finals. Dan Beldy, thanks so much for all you do in making Kentucky a better place to live and work and encouraging entrepreneurs. And then also for the Fibercross title sponsor for the year, which was Kinetic by Windstream. You guys are a real blessing. So thank you so much for all you do. And Josh, you are one of the astounding entrepreneurs that we got to run through life with over the last year as well. So thanks for sticking it out when things got tough. It obviously is not easy. Yeah, you're welcome, man. So again, I'm going to shut up other than tell people to subscribe, follow the podcast wherever you listen, because we want to share more stories like this of success, of really just kick butt entrepreneurs like Josh. So real quickly, Josh pitched back at Fibercross May at the Lexington Legends Baseball Stadium. We had some inclement weather, to use the sports term, and had to move off the pitcher's mound into the stands, but he crushed it there. Shocker. And now he crushed it at the Lyric Theater here in Lexington a few days ago. So really just proud of him, the friend he is, and really his character. And it shows through him as an entrepreneur. So Josh, I'm going to give you like 3 or 4 questions, but really I want you just to feel free to say whatever. This is your time to shine, baby. So your growth, what has changed for Inphlu since we last spoke in May? And also feel free to add any background about who you are, your family, Inphlu, all the good stuff as you're giving an introduction right here.
Yeah, absolutely. First up, I want to say thank you to you for your time and the opportunity to join the podcast today. And thank you to the Awesome Inc. and Fibercross team for creating a platform for entrepreneurs like myself to get out and share a bit about what we're doing, but also to allow us to be in a position to continue to move forward in the right direction. So thank you for doing everything that you do. And as far as, our growth at Inphlu since May, one of the things that I'm extremely proud of is we closed our venture round, and so we closed our venture round, and I spoke to it a little bit back in May, and Jumpstart led our round, and we closed it a little over 6 weeks, and $500,000, and we oversubscribed it, so that allowed us to scale our team. For one, the teammates that stuck with me through the uncomfortable times. Now I work for Inphlu full time, and I was able to hire another teammate of mine who she had to take another opportunity, during the stint of when the pandemic was at the height. But I said, when the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to give you an offer you can't refuse. And and I sent her, I remember doing it via text message, and it went something along the lines of, the time has come. Give me a call if you'd like to discuss your future with Inphlu. I have an offer for you. And she accepted it the next day. And it was one that, it was to take care of her. So she came back full time, and now we're really thriving. We have expanded into the enterprise and collegiate markets. Back in May, we were solely focused on the small business SaaS software and solution. Sign up on our website as a subscription fee. We've now scaled it to enterprise and collegiate, doing really well in helping some of the largest enterprise companies with 2 of the biggest problems, which is talent acquisition and customer acquisition. And we had a solution for the Great Resignation. We just did not know that until we had the opportunity to talk to much larger enterprise companies who helped us discover that. And so we didn't have to tweak anything as far as our vertical. We just had to tweak our messaging, and the rest is history. So that's what's really evolved since May with Inphlu.
Love it, man. Just the fact that you got to call a friend, say, "Hey, you ready to discuss your future?" That's cool, man. That's power right there too.
Thank you. I mean, man. I could talk to you for hours. It's just about the journey and the stories, but man, they say it's a book called 3 Feet from Gold, and it talks about believing, the difference between believing something will happen and knowing something will happen. And I never question the outcome of what we're doing today, even where we're going. I knew it was going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of what we're going to do to get there. Like, how are we going to get there? And we're figuring it out every single day. And so I was confident in her taking a position. It's like, look, I understand. You need to take this position and do what you need to do. I support it. But I know, as a leader, I know what I'm capable of, but I also know the type of product we have and the team that's behind it. And so it was a wonderful feeling to be able to. I did via text message, and because we just established that type of relationship. But I'd always kept tabs. I always watched she was doing on LinkedIn, and I was like, okay, and she's bringing even more value today than she would have back then, because she was able to gain more experience within corporate America, and now she's applying it with Inphlu. So it's a mutually beneficial opportunity.
Man, good stuff. So
thank you.
One of the best parts of the Five Across is you get to pitch, and if you win one of the competitions, you pitch again. So that's one of the main things we're going to look at is you. How did you prepare for the finals pitch? What would you say is your greatest strength when talking about your company? And I think one of the things that also wraps into this is, why should people care? It's just another business in some people's minds, but really, why should they care about Inphlu and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And so the first part is, how did I prepare? And a lot with the first, so like the induction into the Five Across pitch finals, I practiced, coming up in high school. I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, 3-sport athlete in college, and, and a men's physique professional athlete in the IFBB, the International Federation of Bodybuilding. And, it's all repetition. It's all discipline. And I treat business, I treat my slide deck, I treat knowing my information no different than I treated practice and watching film when preparing for game day. I run through my slides and I always practice as if I don't have my slides. So if you remember back in May, during my presentation, the projector in front of me was out. So I couldn't see my slide deck, but I know my information, right? So in my mind, I thought my slides were working, but I was like, look, this is a competition. The show must go on. I can't fold and say, hey, can you restart? You only got 5 minutes. I'm wasting time by doing that. So, and I practiced without my slides anyway. And so it worked out. And, I applied the same thing for the finals, but what I was excited about in the finals is that I was really looking forward to showing our growth and looking forward to showing you what we did with our winnings from May. And here's where we are today. And as far as answering the second part of the question, why should people care? Well, that's a great question, and it's a very simple answer. The team that is behind Inphlu, grit is an understatement, right? From a personal standpoint, grit is an understatement for the team that is behind Inphlu. Now, why should you care from a business perspective? We're helping solve two of the world's biggest problems, talent acquisition and customer acquisition. There are vacant positions. There are positions that are available, but there are not enough people to fill these positions. There's not many tools to help give people access to this information and resources. We have a very streamlined solution to help small businesses all the way up to enterprise companies with this problem. And then talent acquisition, we have a very streamlined solution that gives you marketing and trackable data to track what's working, what's not working. And then we also have our collegiate platform where students can use our software to automate their LinkedIn with content that aligns with their career goals and objectives for opportunities in the marketplace. So now we have a software that's helping students get access to jobs and employment opportunities. So, as far as value proposition, that's why you should really care from a standpoint of the economy is that we're helping students find jobs. We are helping businesses fill those open positions. And then we're also helping businesses acquire new customers.
Good stuff, man. Short and sweet.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay. I want to make sure I answer the question. And so I learned too from the finals, I got to slow down and listen to your question and then answer it. I want to make sure I get everything.
No, I hear you. And Josh, I can say personally, probably my favorite thing from the finals was the recap you gave of really life for you in the last year. And you got the check. Yeah, you're holding the biggest check in the world. Probably top 5 actually. It's massive. And you're like, guys, you have no idea where I was a year ago when I was trying to find ways to pay my team and was telling them that, hey, you need to go find another opportunity. Only for the next day. Then I believe you guys said you got a grant or you got some sort of payment where you were able to pay your team.
Yeah, we got the Main Street Ventures grant. Yep, for $30,000.
Yeah, which is so cool. And not many people actually understand that being a business owner, being a top athlete. You mentioned you 3-sport athlete in college. Goodness gracious, you have discipline. There's no way about no arguing that.
Studying electrical engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a double E.
What?
Yeah, I'm an engineer. A lot of people don't even know that. I'm a double E. Yeah.
You're crazy. so again,
doing signals and systems the night before the game. My calculator had like 100 buttons on it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! You just continue to impress me. And with all that being said, most people don't know that it takes 5-10 years to become an overnight success. Most people don't know all the sacrifice that something like it takes to get to a big milestone, whether it's professionally, personally, relationally, whatever. And at the beginning of each of our 5 Across events, we have that. I think it's like a 2-minute video that someone says, an entrepreneur is, and it talks about like the nights where you don't go play video games or go out to eat with your friends and you're working or you're doing interviews or whatever. Like that was your life and you were figuring that out. So yeah, if you want to share, I'd love to hear just a bit about what you shared from the stage. Cause man, it touched a lot of people. And then when you talked about your family, not just your wife, but your baby girl, you're like, I got to hold it together.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I got to hold together now. It's crazy, man, because, it was tough to do that afterwards because I have to I try so hard to separate my emotion on that stage because I can break down, and I started to, but then it's hard to do that. But it's like, I need to get these words out and thank everyone. And if people want to hear me talk, they want to see me up here, boo-hooing. But, that's how I really feel because I'm emotionally connected to what I'm building. I'm emotionally attached to this. And a lot of people say don't take it personal, it's just business. I take this personal because I put everything on the line for this. There's people that's counting on me to make the right decisions. That's counting on me to perform when things are uncomfortable and to figure things out. This is not us, just a group of friends, working in the basement and, my parents are paying the rent. No, this is real life. My daughter was born the same month I started Inphlu. I never, this is my 4th startup. I would have never imagined I would be starting a brand new company the same month my baby girl was born. I was pitching the next morning. I launched Inphlu the next morning. She was born on the 22nd. I was pitching at an event called Early Risers the following morning on 28 hours of no sleep. Because this is it. This has to work. But as far as a little bit from the stage, what I shared was along the lines of I always believe that success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And that is the journey of entrepreneurship. You're going to hear 1,000 no's before you get to the one yes. You're going to achieve a certain level of success and everyone's going to congratulate that and say, oh, this is great. How did you do it? But they don't see when you overdrew your bank account. When you were strategically filling up your car with gas because, it only charged you $1 on Thursday and the money was going to hit Friday morning. They don't see that. They don't see wondering how you're going to make it to the next month. They see the picture. He looks nice. It's in shape. kind of sort of easy to look at, right? Great personality, but it's like, man, deep down inside, I'm crying for help. I'm crying for somebody believing us enough to give us a little bit more fuel to give us an opportunity to make it to the big leagues, and we continue to pound the pavement. We focused on ourselves when everyone had to focus on their team, and we made it to June, and we received that Main Street Ventures grant for $30,000. And that was the day after I met with my team, telling them that, I would highly recommend you look for employment elsewhere because I don't know where Inphlu is going to be 30 days from now. And the exact next day, I had a one-line email from Main Street Ventures saying, congratulations, you are the recipient of the Main Street Ventures LEAP grant in the amount of $30,000. And I called my team. I was sitting in the garage holding my daughter when I got the email, and I had to wipe my eyes and get close to the screens. Like, wait a minute. And this is something I filled out in January. This is June. And I called the team. And I said, hey, everyone meet at the office. And drove to the office. I printed out this emails. Like I said, it was one sentence. And I put it on the table, and I put like 3 pieces of paper on top so you couldn't read through it. And I go through my motivational speech to the team. I send a counter thread. I want everyone to flip that piece of paper over. And they flipped it over, and they saw the same email I just read. And I said, we're back in the game. And that was a sign that we had something special. Now, whatever you believe in or pray to, there's no coincidences, right? In my story, the big guy upstairs, he has a plan. And we've been doing everything we're supposed to do to be where we are today. And every single obstacle was putting us in a position to make the right decision, to get to the right people we're supposed to work with, right? To not work with people because out of desperation, because that may block something 6 months from now that we can't see. And so when somebody tells me, no, it wasn't that we didn't have a great idea, it was that person thought too small. I think big. And working with someone that told me no, I could see today that I'm glad that happened because they would have had me in a box. It had us thinking this way when I meant that, we working on something big. And every single thing that's happened from January 2020, even before that, but from January 2020 when we launched Inphlu till today doing this podcast with you, everything had its purpose. And all we have to do is continue to do what we're doing. And it's going to work. That's it. When it gets uncomfortable, it's a lesson to be learned. Just got to stay focused.
Dude.
Man, I'm getting the chills. I'm getting fired up, man. You got to listen, I'm getting fired up, man. Yeah, dude,
that's so good. I'm
starting to sweat. You see, if they can see, I wish they could see that I'm starting to shine a little bit. I'm getting the glisten. You ever see the glaze on that?
Yeah, it says the Wi-Fi is a little shaky, so hopefully that's gonna keep the glisten just to you for now. Maybe it'll pop back on. But yeah, man, I feel like I just watched Remember the Titans. Left side, strong side, like very different subject matter, but I'm just fired up right now. Okay, all right, I'm gonna reel back in. So, yeah, dude, that was awesome. Last couple things. Again, we're gonna get you on your way so you can be looking extra fly in that Assassin's Creed hoodie you're wearing. Everybody has a different story. One of my favorite things, really, that I hear is a common thread from a lot of people that come through Awesome Inc., whether it's someone who just needs a friend or they need a place to build community, they're a startup or a sole entrepreneur needing resources, that they're just grateful. And they're like, hey, this opened a door to this person. Like, this conversation led me to this investor. Pitching out 5 Across helped me get this next grant. Was there anything that pitching out 5 Across, either in May or just last week, did for Inphlu?
Yeah, absolutely. So from May, I actually met 2 potential investors. And actually the pitch coach that you guys connected me with, Dave, he's also been a part of the entire journey as well since May. So I don't know if Awesome Inc. knows that. And so even since the 5 Across Pitch Finals winnings, I don't know if you've been on LinkedIn, but our LinkedIn is going parabolic. It's going, it's mayhem.
That's good.
And so it's been wonderful just getting the recognition that, we've been working so hard to get in Awesome Inc. You guys definitely put us in a position to grow in the way that we're growing. And so it's a multitude. It's not just the check, but again, it's the community behind it. And even after I won, I was still there for maybe another 30 minutes, just talking to individuals. And I'm trying to connect with all the judges. So I know Emily's trying to get their contact information to me, but I was able to connect really with the community as well. I met a gentleman who owned an ad agency, and it's called, I think it was from Madison to Lexington. He started in New York, and now it's here in Lexington. He IPO'd a company, and I'm talking to this guy right as soon as I walked up the stage. And he's already given me some wisdom and counsel on, making sure we're doing the right thing to get to that level. So there's a very long list of how this helped, but most importantly, I'm not going anywhere neither. I want to share the story. If there's anyone that comes to the Awesome Inc. or through the Five Across that has questions on something that we have already experienced or maybe have become pretty good at, I want to share what we've learned because we know what it's like, and so we want to do whatever we can to help. And also me as a founder, I want to share as much information as people are willing to hear.
That's sweet, man. Josh, you're so good. I appreciate you saying that. Last couple of things before we wrap up. Number one, how was this a win for the entire Inphlu team? Obviously, you got to be on the stage leading the charge, but it was a win for Inphlu. Talk about just going back the next day and celebrating with your team. What was that like?
Yeah, so this is a win, man, because there's more fuel in the tank. I tell you something, and it's something I feel good about. And I don't know if it's something that happens, if it's common to happen at this early in the game as far as a startup company. But it felt good to I called the team on the way home on three-way. Miss Judy was with me, so put everyone on a conference call. And I said, everyone gets a holiday bonus this year. Now, for me, that feels good because, last year I was trying to figure out how to make things happen. And this year I said, everyone gets a holiday bonus. As a startup company. And that really felt good. For me, it's the small things. It had nothing to do with anything else. It just felt good to be able to tell my team that, hey, I appreciate all the hard work. I appreciate you guys. I need to practice. You guys manage the meetings. And because we have our morning stand-up meeting and something I had to miss just because with daycare and my wife. And, I only get like a certain window where I can really focus. And sometimes that window is during our team meetings. And so they would say, no, we got it, Josh. Do what you need to do. And they carried the ball. And so, yeah, that's why I really felt good being able to do after the winnings with the team is being able to share with them that milestone and that everyone is going to have a little extra Christmas shopping money this year.
Man, so generous, dude. That's awesome. And then, yeah, dude, I could just brag on you. You're so good. But last and probably most important thing, we've heard your story. We've heard about the highs and lows, what it looks like to be, again, an electrical engineering major playing 3 collegiate sports. Like, you've done it all. It's so funny. But you are a business, and a business can't exist without customers. So how can people support local? How can they support Inphlu and continue filling the dream, as the dream tank, as you just said?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you would love to help us out, we are looking to connect with any enterprise company who is looking to who has an initiative to increase their pool of talent and also to market and brand the company, but as well as the employees. If you have any introductions, I'm more than happy to jump on a demo call. We're also looking to get our software to more colleges and universities. So career services development would be a great contact as far as enterprise, anyone in the marketing space, the CMO, chief marketing officer, or even, the CEO. Someone that can make a decision in that department would be really helpful. And also, give us a follow on social media on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. Morgan Tipton, she is leading our digital brand. She's doing a phenomenal job. We get a lot of compliments on our newsletters and our social media posts. If you want to give us a follow, that really helps out. It's Inphlu, INPHLU. And if you are a small business that are looking to use a software to help get your content in front of more potential customers and increase your engagement, you can sign up as a small business right on our website, get access to our software, and that's Inphlu.com, INPHLU.com. And it's $42 a month or $119 a month, depending on the types of features you would like to have access to. So that's how we really look for help. And if you'd like to connect with me just to have a conversation, or we're all looking at doing another round in June of next year. So I want to make sure I speak to those VCs and angel investors out there. We're all looking to do another round in June of 2022 if you're interested in being on our list of prospective investors at that time. So please get in contact with me.
Man, Josh, so good, dude. So good. Well, everyone, thanks again for taking the time to listen. Make sure you like and subscribe so that way you get to hear more awesome stories like Josh's. Josh, appreciate you. Appreciate Inphlu, all the work you're doing. And again, congrats on rocking the 5 Across Finals. Proud of you, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to the 5 Across and Awesome Inc. team. Appreciate the opportunity.
Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Awesome Inc.'s podcast. And another quick thank you to Lee Rosevear and a few members from our community who provide the music that you hear in this show. Lastly, give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. Or, even better, come on down to our space. Come be a part of our community and get plugged in, and let's start something awesome together. You guys rock. We'll see you next time.